welcome to the Brenda Perryman Show right here on TV 33, WHPR, Comcast 90 in Detroit, and all over the world, courtesy of the World Wide Web. We are everywhere, believe me. I don't even want to count the ways, but that's good. I have a great show for you this morning, and I want you to stay tuned for Table Talk at 10, because at that time we're going to be talking about that reparations controversy and some other things that I think you'll enjoy and want to join in on. This morning is for the better good, the greater good. My second guest is Tanisha Chantilly Johnson, who's an author, publisher, and she'll teach you how to publish your own book, or she can publish it. I think I'm going to have her publish mine. But that's secondly. But first and foremost, I want to first introduce you to my first guest. This is Dr. Cheryl Simmons. Good morning.
Good morning.
Founder and CEO of Youth for Global Health and Social Justice. And you may say, what is that? Well, we'll tell you what it is, and it's great, and it's for the greater good. Dr. Simmons, good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, my Miss Perryman. Good morning.
I've heard Miss Perryman for like 50 years.
Absolutely.
50 years.
Absolutely.
And we're still young. No. Yes.
Yes, we are.
And, but why don't you tell the audience real quick, because it has to do with water, and water is a very important asset.
Absolutely.
For everyone, and everyone has that right to water, and good water, right?
Absolutely, and that's certainly what we advocate here at Youth for Global Health and Social Justice. And Youth for Global Health and Social Justice is an initiative for the United Nations. And our focus is on the Sustainable Development Goal number 6. And number 6 speaks specifically to clean water and sanitation is a human right.
Absolutely, is a human right. And it shouldn't cost an arm and a leg.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as we advocate for clean water and sanitation, not only in the United States, but around the world.
Absolutely. And why around the world should it have an effect on us?
Well, because so often we think, water, clean water, sanitation, that might be somebody else's issue, but it's not mine. We want our young people to know that because you have clean water and sanitation right now, if you have an opportunity to see how other parts of the world have to live, they have no toilets, so there's open defecation. Yes. Their water is riddled with all kinds of bacteria. Then let's think beyond, it's okay for me. And let's open our arms and embrace those who don't have.
Absolutely. And here in Michigan, we've experienced some things with Flint. I mean, that is a travesty. It shouldn't even be happening here. Why don't you talk about some of the initiatives that Youth of Global for Global Health have done in Flint?
You're so right on that, my Miss Perryman. Flint is still struggling. They're not so much in the media anymore. Sometimes it's out of sight, out of mind, but they are still yet struggling. We spent a lot of time in Flint. World Water Day, we were there. There were 12 semi-trailers full of water, and that water was distributed throughout the city of Flint. Our young people were there helping out with that. We declared our initiative in Dakar, Senegal, and Flint, Michigan, sister cities for the day.
Absolutely.
We have another event in Flint on July 27th, the Fresh Flint Festival, which I think was started by Snoop Dogg.
The Fresh
Flint Festival. And Youth for Global Health is certainly going to participate in that, and we are going to be doing the water relays. So we're excited about that.
I wonder what that would entail, water relays.
It's all about water, and with each obstacle on the obstacle course, there's a teachable moment. We're going to have the water volleyball event. And our teachable moment there is when it comes to clean water and sanitation, it's always your serve.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, tell the audience what you do with these young people over the year and why Dakar.
We looked at Dakar mainly because they're getting a new water treatment facility there that gives our young people, especially our high school and college students who are looking at engineering as a career. So we get to bring them in on the ground level of that construction of that water treatment plant. And one other thing that's so important, our young people that are going into a medical field,
That's it. I was thinking about that. The
they oh,
sciences.
absolutely. So they are going to spend our 10 days in Dakar at the principal hospital of Dakar.
Really?
They will, and they're going to follow the treatment and prevention of patients who presented with a waterborne disease.
Now, what is a waterborne disease?
Now, that is a disease that a person gets from contaminated water. So if it's related to water, it's waterborne. And those are the diseases that we study in Youth for Global Health.
And what are some of those?
Cholera would be one.
Yes.
We're going into Dakar. The University of Dakar has a cutting-edge research project on malaria. So they're going to sit in on lectures at the university about malaria. And I think our young people get a firsthand experience because yellow fever, of course, is another waterborne disease. So we're actually taking them today for those yellow fever vaccines.
Okay, so the youth, they meet every week during the school year, or how does that go, where they come over to the hospital?
We're going to change the format completely for the 2021 program. But currently, Beaumont Hospital is one of our sponsors, and we meet for class once a month there at Beaumont, and then we Skype the other young people from the other countries into the classroom.
Because there are young people from other countries.
Right, from 9 other countries that participate in Youth for Global Health.
And also, one of your representatives spoke at the United Nations this past.
She did. So Leah Kane was the Youth for Global Health representative to the United Nations back in February. We'll be selecting 2 new students that will join her as they advocate for clean water and sanitation at the UN level.
At the end of the day, what do you want these young people to take back with them from Dakar? And how many of them are going?
We'll have a total of 35.
My goodness.
Yeah, so we have a big delegation that's going, but we're so excited. And what we want them to bring back, because our actual project there is the renovation of an elementary school. So we'll be working with the locals and putting in a new restroom there. They currently don't have working toilets, and our age group are the 2 to 5-year-olds. So we're going to have, tiny toilets for them, and we're putting in wash basins so that we can teach hand washing techniques. We want our young people to come back with the understanding that they made an impact on the lives of 125 babies.
Absolutely. And then it's not only those babies, it's
Absolutely.
babies that come afterward.
After them.
And so forth. So they're setting a legacy, having one going there.
Absolutely.
Isn't that remarkable? In a few minutes, I'm going to bring on a couple of the students who are going, and I'm so excited to talk to them because it's nothing like, and you know this, and I know this, training young people to be sensitive to what's happening, to have a working knowledge of what's going on, because a lot of people just think, well, shoot, water's just there, it's fine, it's all of this, but I think Flint brought to a lot of people's awareness the fact that water isn't always pure. It has to be, you have to get it from a good source and so forth.
Absolutely. And it gives us the perspective that I never thought it would happen to us. And
Yeah.
it brings it into focus. Yes, it can.
Now, you're going to be having something where the mayor of Chicago is going
Absolutely.
to speak. We got three things. The mayor of Chicago and next week. Yes.
Yes, so the mayor of Chicago, for a sustainable development goal, in our opinion, for the United States, has become a champion because she has implemented in Chicago that it is absolutely against the law to do water shut-offs.
You hear that, Detroit? Against the law to do water shutoffs. That's amazing. I'm wondering how that's going to work, but that's exciting.
I think that, if we advocate that it's a human right, and certainly, we have to understand that, as far as infrastructure, there's got to be, some monetary commitment to keep things going. But I think it's amazing, the money that we can find for so many things. But one thing's for sure, we can live, a very short period of time without any water.
Right, right.
So these are the lives of people that we're talking about.
And next week, I believe it's the 28th.
Next week, the 28th, is a phenomenal event for Youth for Global Health, and it's called Detroit to Dakar, A Taste of Senegal. And we have the phenomenal, award-winning Louis Resto and Pate Jassy, and they have donated their time, their talent to do this concert for us. It's a major fundraiser for us. We're asking everybody, come on out to the Charles Wright Museum on the 28th at 7 o'clock and get a taste of Senegal.
Yes, and Louis Resto he has an Oscar. He
does.
won an Oscar,
Right.
Absolutely. I saw him perform last November, and he was just phenomenal. And he's performed all around the world, and he has an Oscar for Lose Yourself from 8 Mile, from
Right.
the soundtrack of 8 Mile. It was him, it was Jeff Bass, and Eminem who put that together, wrote it, and won the Oscar.
Wow, and the fact that we would be so blessed to
Yes.
have, somebody at that level say, you know what, I care enough about the issue of water to get behind you guys and support you on your journey to Dakar. We're blessed. We're blessed.
Absolutely. How do people get tickets?
They can get tickets by going to our website. That's www.youthforglobalhealth.com.
Yes, or just put in Youth for Global Health. It'll lead you to
Absolutely.
the website.
Yep.
Yes.
Click on the events page, and all you need is right there.
Now, will there be tickets available?
We're selling tickets only online
Okay.
so that we can, kind of stay ahead of what our crowd is because we do expect it to sell out.
Oh, goodness, you heard that here.
Yes, indeed.
And then tell us about the Senegalese musician.
Pate Rassi, we thank God for him. He's still touring. He'll be here on the 25th. But, this was the whole thing. He kind of coordinated the concert, has kind of been our cultural attaché to Senegal, if you will. Just a phenomenal young man. We love him so much.
Well, this is great. That is next week on Friday, the 28th, at the African American Museum, the Charles H. Wright, or as they call it now, the Wright.
The right.
.org. And lastly, I want to thank you, but I want to bring the young people up.
Okay.
I want to bring 2 representatives for Youth for Global Health and Social Justice. I want to bring them up so that you could hear the enthusiasm of these young people. So we'll be back in just a moment.
You can have your own party on TV. Party with RJ Watkins and the TV33 family when you hold your own Facebook watch party. Connect all your friends with our friends, and we can have a watch party together. Watch your favorite TV shows when you want, how you want, with your favorite people. Here's how it works. Log on to Facebook from your computer or tablet and go to the RJ Watkins fan page at facebook.com/TV33WHPR, the one with the blue WHPR logo on the left. Like us. Click the word videos with the red tag that says live next to it. Then click the share button at the bottom of the video player and select start a watch party. Invite whoever you want. Your party will be recorded and archived for playback anytime you want. Now you can watch WHPR TV 33 on Fire Stick. Catch all of your favorites. Stay informed. Don't miss a minute of your favorite talk shows. Call, text, tweet, post. WHPR TV 33 is worldwide on Fire Stick. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. WHPR TV 33, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.
I am back, I'm hot. Tim says I'm hot. And I'm so excited to have the two young people that I have here. I'd like to introduce to you. I'll start with the ladies. Ambriana.
Yes.
Ambriana Beatty.
Yep.
And Brandon Harrell. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Brandon, what school are you?
Cornerstone Health and Technology High School.
Oh, Cornerstone Health and Technology High School, and you're at?
At West Bloomfield High School.
Now, first, how did you get involved with the Youth for Social Justice Youth for Global Health and Social Justice? Excuse me. How did you get involved?
Well, I heard about it through a family friend that went to my grandmother's church, and I was thinking, well, why not try something different, something new opportunities? So I applied, and here now.
Okay, what about you, Brandon?
I originally heard about it through my school. A friend told me about it. She's actually a part of the program, too. We both had to interview for it, and now we're both a part of Youth for Global Health.
Wasn't that great having the interview?
Yeah.
I mean, that was, that in itself, just being ready for the interview, not knowing 9 times out of 10 what people are going to ask you. And your interest is what? Past high school?
I want to be an OBGYN and own my own practice.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And what do you want to be, Brandon?
Either I want to go into accounting or criminal justice.
Yeah, you were telling me about criminal justice. You'd like to be a crime scene investigator. That's more exciting.
Yeah.
Accounting can be a little more money, though.
Yeah.
But I like the exciting stuff. Do what you love. That's what I tell you. Do what you love. And I think, what do you think that you want to gain from this experience? I'll start with you, Ambriana.
I want to gain just self-knowledge about what's going on around me, and not necessarily in my own community, but around the world.
Yes.
And just to feel how other people feel, you know?
Yes, and society is global these days. It's not like it was 50 years ago where you had to, you find out about other societies through encyclopedias and stuff like that. What do you want to take away from this?
Well, personally, I want to come back more of a humble person, like self-betterment, and to, be able to say that I help somebody else in another country other than just my community.
Absolutely, because it's a memory that you won't forget, and it might encourage you to once a year, like I do know people who go once a year to different countries just to help. In fact, one of my guests, she goes out west to the Native American community and helps them out for like a month. And I mean, there are people who go back and you see the need, and then too it makes you appreciate what you have, right?
Yes.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. So you'll be at the hospital when you go to the car. What are you be doing?
I will be on the floor, and I'll have a person over me that's that I'm shadowing with, and they'll show me how to check blood pressure and how to use a blood pressure cup and just the signs of malaria and other waterborne illnesses as well.
waterborne illnesses. And what will you be doing?
Well, I'll be working with the engineering team, and we're building a water treatment plant ourselves.
That is amazing.
Yep.
Golly, this is such a great opportunity for you all. Water treatment plant. And water treatment is important. Do you know why?
Yes, because water is a human right.
Water is a human right. And right now, as Dr. Simmons said, the mayor of Chicago believes that. And she's put a stop to water turnoffs. You need water. Now, I'm going to tell you something. A friend of mine who lives in an apartment building forgot that they were going to, he got a notice that the water would be off between 6 in the morning and 11 in the morning. And so he had forgotten all about that. And when he went to wash up, there was no water. It just, and he said, I had to go and I had to get bottles and start trying to clean up and everything. That is what some people live with day to day.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Unfortunately. Now, did either of you go or both go to Flint? Yeah,
I went.
You went?
Yeah.
What did you do there?
We passed out waters to people in cars. So they came in a line and opened their trunk, put the waters
Were
in.
there a lot of people?
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of people. Yep. As soon when we got done passing out all our waters, there was still lines that was going around the
Oh,
block.
my God. That kind of broke your heart, didn't
It
it?
really did.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is just amazing. It just seems almost primitive, doesn't it? And this is America?
Yeah.
So, are you excited? What kind of clothes are you taking to Dakar? What kind? Because what's the weather like there?
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Like Dr. Simmons was saying, we're gonna be walking and walking and walking and walking.
Well, you're already tiny. I hate to see you lose any weight. Yeah, you're already tiny. Yeah, you'll be walking, but you know there are people who live in that environment. I wonder what degree is every day.
Like 95 to
95
100.
to 100, maybe even over 100.
Maybe over 100.
Yep, got to be over 100.
But it might be a different kind of hot.
Oh, yes. for
yeah,
sure.
it's gonna be a blazing frying pan type of hot.
Different type of heat.
Yes, and you leave on the 4th,
Yep, the 4th of July.
and from Dr. Simmons, she says you're going to have a stop in Dubai for 8 hours,
Yep,
right?
8-hour layover.
8-hour layover, so you'll be able to look around there a bit. And then you'll have another stop. Is that the one in, is that in Italy? Where is that?
Milan.
Milan,
Italy. Yeah. Oh, I
15 hours.
remembered. Oh, my God. And that's 15 hours. So you'll get to see another country. Now, on the flight back, are there any stops or layovers or anything? Do you know?
I'm not sure, yeah.
You're not
There
sure?
probably is, most likely.
probably.
I think you all are going to sleep all the way back.
We're gonna be tired because we're gonna be walking and walking. We're gonna be tired.
Yeah, but you've learned. Tell me, kind of quickly, what have you learned this year?
I learned to humble myself. I learned to be dedicated to what you love and for what you support and what you believe in. And I learned to just be committed.
And tell me something that you learned that you did not know as far as what you're getting ready to do.
I didn't know about waterborne illnesses that much, really, because it didn't really touch my mind like that, because I
Right.
never seen it, I never experienced it.
Because you
with my
could just go
friends.
turn on
Yeah,
that
turn on the water,
faucet
give me a glass of water, and keep going.
and shower and bathe. And, oh, what about you?
Well, I've learned how to speak in front of crowds and in front of people, how to enunciate and things like that.
Enunciation. And what is something that you learned that you didn't know prior?
Well, like Ambriana said, waterborne diseases, but also I learned a little bit of French. That's something I never
A
knew
little
before.
French.
Yeah.
Like we? No. Give me something you learned in French.
Okay. Bonjour, je m'appelle Brenda. Comment allez-vous?
We. That's all I know. Oh, that's great. Did you get any French too?
A little bit, but it didn't really stick like that. I'm more so Spanish. I took
French is
3 years
hard.
of Spanish, so Spanish is more so my niche. But
Yes.
I learned a little here and there.
Yes, it's good to and learn Spanish. You got to learn Spanish. I think everyone should learn Spanish. See, when I went to high school, I learned the dead language, Latin. Who talks in Latin? But it's the root of so many words.
Yes, it
That's
is.
the thing about Latin. It's not maybe a conversational language, but it's the root of so many words. So I'm excited to hear what happens on your trip. I know you must be very excited.
Yes, I'm very, very, very excited.
Now, you're only going to take one suitcase, right?
Yes, one suitcase and a carry-on.
Don't have the big carrier.
Yeah, I know.
What about you?
Yeah, one suitcase and a carry-on.
Okay, because you know you don't have to take like coats and stuff, so
Right.
you can
Yeah.
take real, your things aren't going to be that bulky and all. But remember, you're going to be walking and walking and walking. This is exciting. And Brianna and Brandon, thank you for coming on my show. I'm so excited for you and the journey that you're about to undertake. I think it's going to change your lives.
For
It
sure.
really is for the better.
Absolutely. God, I'm about to cry. I mean, no, seriously. So, everyone, you saw them here first. These are superstars of today and tomorrow. And I'd like to thank Dr. Cheryl Simmons, and I'd like to thank Brandon and Ambriana for coming on. Now, stay tuned, because a lot of you have books in you, and you want to write a book. But my next guest can really help you with that. We'll be back in just a moment. Thank you.
Alexa, open TV 33 Live. Alexa, open FM Detroit. Alexa, open FM Virgin Islands. Now you can listen to WHPR, TV 33, and WVIE on Amazon Echo. Don't miss a minute of your favorite shows. And find out how you can have your own show heard worldwide on Amazon Echo. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. The Watkins Broadcasting Company. You can have your own party on TV. Party with RJ Watkins and the TV 33 family when you hold your own Facebook watch party. Connect all your friends with our friends, and we can have a watch party together. Watch your favorite TV shows when you want, how you want, with your favorite people. Here's how it works. Log on to Facebook from your computer or tablet and go to the RJ Watkins fan page at facebook.com/TV33WHPR. The one with the blue WHPR logo on the left. Like us. Click the word videos with the red tag that says live next to it. Then click the share button at the bottom of the video player and select start a watch party. Invite whoever you want. Your party will be recorded and archived for playback anytime you want.
I am back. I am back. I am back with one of my favorite. Now I am really back now with one of my favorite people, author. Well, of course, writer, author, publisher, editor, which is so important, and more. Tanisha Johnson. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, Tanisha Chantilly Johnson.
Full government name, right?
Yes. We have so much to say.
To catch up on. It's been a minute. Yeah.
And you're getting ready to go on a missionary trip.
Missions trip to Peru tomorrow. So I will be gone 12 days.
And you'll probably be walking and
Walking. Yeah.
And it's going to be hot down there, too.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's winter in Peru, so they're
Really?
saying like 60s. Yeah.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
it's like Detroit. then.
Right. We
Like-
need a jacket. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
absolutely. So, Tanisha, you do so much, and I mean, the editing piece is so important.
It is.
I want to talk about several things because you've gotten into publishing,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Probably about a year and a half now. Yeah.
Now, as far as publishing, you have a book company. Talk to us about it.
So basically, I walk the authors through the process of picking their cover, which we know is very important, the front cover, the back cover, filing the copyright, registering it with the Library of Congress, which a lot of authors are not doing.
They're not doing
They're
that?
not doing it, which if you ever want your book in the library, it has to be registered.
It has to be.
Yeah, yeah. And so there are a lot of people who skip those steps. They go to editing and then they go to print. They use a print-on-demand company, but there are like 6, 7 other steps in between.
Now, the print-on-demand companies.
Yes.
I mean, they're always writing people and so forth about printing, we'll print your book
Yeah.
and this and that. But tell me, what is the disadvantage of those companies?
So I think the disadvantage is not knowing what you need from those companies. So a lot of people will go to Ingram Spark or like CreateSpace, which is no longer doing self-publishing. And so they'll do everything through them. Their editing, their ISBN, all of that. But the downfall with that is your ISBN now says that you are published by CreateSpace, not by your own publishing company. Even though you are a self-published author, you are now published under CreateSpace. And so that's the disadvantage as opposed to going to Bowker.com and buying your own ISBN. Because
Right.
now it's under your
Right.
parent company. Yeah.
Right.
So basically, I tell people, when you write the book, you open a business, and a lot of people don't look at it like that, but you have to do the business side as well.
Absolutely. Now, are you finding a lot of people writing books who don't know how to write books or write?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I think a lot of people have a good story, they just don't know how to tell it. And I say this every time I come on your show. If you can tell a good story, we can get past the grammar, the spelling, all of that. I can correct that. But if you've left holes in the story, then we got to go back and rewrite.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And writing is no joke.
It's no joke.
It can be very tedious,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
But after you write, you got to go back over what you wrote.
Right.
Don't
and
you think?
well, and a lot of people don't like doing that. So what they want to do is they want to write it, and it's like, oh, let me send it to the editor. And so as an editor, I'm telling them, okay, there are some things that are inconsistent. There are some things where you may have left a hole. You know, you jump from 1993 to 2005. Well, what happened in between those years?
Absolutely.
You know, and your readers will subliminally say, what did you leave out? What am I missing?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, say if I have a viewer
Mm-hmm.
who has this story in them, really an exciting story.
Absolutely.
What is the first step that they should do? I always tell people to outline.
Exactly. And so we go all the way back to school. If you remember, before you could write a paper, the first thing you had to turn into the teacher was what? An outline.
Your outline saying what you're going to do,
Yes,
what you're going to cover.
And the teacher would approve or reject even the outline. So if the teacher rejected the outline, you did not start writing the paper.
Right.
So I tell people, if it's nonfiction, if it's your life story, that's fine. But if you're 60 years old, okay, you're not gonna cover every year.
Oh,
you
no,
have to cover,
absolutely
right.
not.
You have to cover the major life moments. So births, deaths, graduations, you know, things that were turning points in your life.
Absolutely,
But the
absolutely.
outline is key, and a lot of people don't want to take the time to do that. So when I work with clients, like book coaching clients or consulting, that's the first thing we do. And we figure out who the book is for, who's your target market. Because the
Yes.
biggest mistake self-published authors make is, oh, I wrote a book, and they put it on Facebook, and it's like, buy my book. And people are saying congratulations, but you have no money in your PayPal account. And you have no money coming through Cash App.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, right. Ooh, wow.
So congratulations doesn't turn into dollars necessarily.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't turn into dollars. But like, so they should outline, just basically say
Yes.
what you're going to write,
What you're going to cover.
what
Yeah.
you're going
Beginning
to cover.
to end.
Beginning to end. That's very important.
Yes, beginning
Don't
to
just
end.
leave it hanging.
No,
at a
don't leave it
certain
hanging.
point.
Well, and I say most fiction authors, they may leave a story hanging if they
Oh,
want to guide
yeah.
into a book 2 or a book 3.
Yeah.
But if you're just writing a standalone book, don't leave it hanging.
Don't leave it hanging. And then after that, what? The outline.
So after the outline, I tell people, number one, to schedule their writing, because I think a lot of people get overwhelmed by saying, I'm writing a book. You're not writing a book. You're going to sit down today and write chapter 1. or you're going to sit down today and write chapter 7. Reality is you don't have to write in order, and I think that's what keeps a lot of people stuck too.
Absolutely.
So if you know what chapter 7 looks like, go ahead and write chapter 7. We can put it all into one Word document later, but go ahead and write what you know now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as far as publishing, getting a nice book out like
Yes.
this, and some people do hardcover.
They do.
Right.
It's more money.
Yeah, I know.
Some people want hardcover just to say it's hardcover, because really, what's the benefit one over the other? The hardcover just has a sleeve,
Right.
versus this, which is a gloss, paper cover.
Absolutely. Because all my books are
Paperback, yeah.
All my books are paperback. They keep,
Right. And they pack better and they travel better. I mean, a hardcover, think about if I'm going to an airport and I have to travel for a conference, hardbacks weigh twice as much as
I
this
mean,
paperback
ridiculous,
would. Yeah, if I got to
ridiculous.
take 50 books, I'm in trouble.
right,
Yeah.
right. Ridiculous. Now, you have written how many books?
10 books now.
Wow.
I can't remember the last time I was on your show,
Well,
what book I was
I mean-
on. Probably for the stage play. That was
Yeah,
probably
for
the last
play.
time, yeah.
And then I remember, too, you did the book with the lady. With
the grammar nerd.
No, the lady.
When the smoke clears.
When
Well,
the
that's the
smoke
stage
clears.
play too.
Yeah,
so the
that's
book is
clear.
When the Smoke
Right.
Clears, A Phoenix Rises, and then we did the stage play 2 years in a row. We did it in 17 and 18.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's good because you were able to write that book and you adapted it to stage.
To a stage, yeah.
Right, and that can be done.
Yes.
Now you have 2 books here. This was the first one.
Yes.
Marriage Uncut.
Straight
And-
talk, no chaser.
Straight talk, no chaser. And then Marriage Uncut 2.
Yes.
Now, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. No,
Yes. Right.
okay, so what was the purpose of these books?
So the purpose of Marriage Uncut originally was me and my husband went through a rough time where we were considering divorce for like the 892nd time, because let's be real.
Now, how long
you
have
think
you been
about it,
married?
16 years.
Yeah.
16 years, but you think about divorce every other day. If there's a sock on the floor, we thought about divorce. Well, I did. He probably didn't. I did. And so the book came out of people who, people see on social media and they say hashtag goals and relationship goals and their marriage is so picture perfect. And so we did this book, and it's actually a movement. It'll be a conference eventually. But we did this book in volumes because we want people to know that there are people going through real life issues in real marriages.
Now you have different authors
Yes,
too.
yes. So
Tell
these
us
are
about-
anthologies. These are anthologies. So the first, Marriage Uncut, actually talks about a big story me and my husband went through. We went through infidelity and we chose to overcome it. Okay, we chose to
Wow,
stick
that's
through it.
difficult.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
difficult. You really have to learn to
Right.
trust and
Absolutely.
love
And it's better on the other side. It's sweeter. It's so much sweeter on the other side. I would be lying to you if I told you it wasn't.
Right,
But
right.
it is. And I don't tell anybody to do that so that they can get a better marriage, but I'm telling you that's our story.
Okay.
And so there's also an author in the first book who was divorced, but she was in an abusive marriage. So for her, success in her marriage looked like getting out.
Yeah.
And there are so many people who don't get out because they feel like they need to honor their vows, they need to stick and stay, but you're in an abusive marriage, and it's abusive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, did this person get out?
She did get out, and
Yeah.
she's a counselor now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is, I always tell people can be in an uncomfortable situation.
Yes.
But it becomes their comfort zone because it's familiar.
It's familiar, right? And you don't know what the next is, so you just settle for the now.
Boy.
Yeah.
So you have some other authors here too.
Yes.
Can I just name the authors?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, Octavia McLean.
Ortavia.
Ortavia. I'm
Ortavia,
sorry.
mhm.
You're right. Confincy.
Confincy.
Convincy, Booth, Jermaine Johnson, oh, that was easy, Robin Burris, Patricia Sims, and you,
Yes.
Tanisha Johnson.
Yes.
Now, Marriage Uncut 2,
Yes.
Now,
Different
what-
authors.
different authors. We have
Different
Angie
stories.
Green, Natasha and Orlando Crawford,
Yes.
Connie Hookfin,
Hookfin.
and you.
Uh-huh.
You still writing about your marriage, huh?
I got stories for days.
I know.
Stories for days about marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, we are all did.
I could put you in the next one.
Girl, yeah. Marriage number one
Right.
and marriage number two.
Right. Right.
But, no, a lot of times we don't look like what we've been through.
Absolutely.
We don't look like what
Absolutely.
we've been through.
Yeah. And that's a good thing.
What's the benefit of this book?
I think the benefit is
And who is your audience?
absolutely. So our audiences are, of course, married couples, but I would also venture to say people who are looking to go into marriage if you're engaged, because what a lot of people, they think about the wedding dress, they think about the wedding day, they think about the caterer, the flowers. That is maybe 24 hours of an event in your life. You have pictures, you have a video, and then it's over, and then real life starts. So these are real life stories about things that we have battled in our marriage and overcome. Whether that meant leaving for some, because for some that meant leaving. In Marriage Uncut Part 2, one of the authors was married to an abusive pastor, and for her it meant getting out. So again, it's just to encourage people to let them know you're not alone. People have real life issues and real marriages.
And what about red flags?
Absolutely.
Because there are a lot of things you see maybe before you get married, but you kind of ignore.
You ignore it.
Because you got this
Yeah.
ring.
Yeah.
You're getting ready.
You
and
just
you're gonna
sweep it
get
to the
cute
side.
and-
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
stuff. But like you said, life comes.
Yes.
And life,
Yeah. And life will happen to everyone. Life is going, if you do absolutely nothing, life is going to happen to your marriage.
and another thing, children.
Yes,
That's very important.
it is.
Very, very important in a marriage.
It is.
Your transition if you get divorced.
Yes.
And or thinking about, should I keep my kids in this situation where I'm not happy, my
Right.
husband's not happy,
Right.
And kids aren't stupid.
They're not stupid. And a lot of people say, I'm staying for the kids. But the kids already know. The kids already are aware of what they can sense what's going on in the atmosphere. They're not crazy. So it's like you think you're staying for the kids, but you're probably doing more damage than good. We think it's better to grow up in a two-parent household. But if it's a broken two-parent household, how beneficial is that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I like about this book, and I like about some of the things that you write on Facebook. Straight talk, no chaser.
Yeah.
Straight, no chaser.
Yeah.
That's really,
But that's what we need to heal. That's what we need to move forward. So we've been sweeping things under the rug for far too long. It's like, let's deal with the issues.
and I advise people to get counseling prior to marriage.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And during marriage.
Yeah.
Before and after. Yeah.
And the thing is, talk it out.
Yes.
Talk it out, because
Yes.
too many times people just get mad and they don't talk about it. Then the next day they start talking about something else.
Right.
But
And it
that still
festers.
is still
It
there.
festers, yeah, and it builds. And so they say it's the little foxes that destroy the vine. So it's the little foxes that destroy marriage. So it's things that have happened over years that you just get to a point and you wake up one day and say, I'm done.
Now, where do people get this book?
So they can get the physical copies on soitiswritten.net. They can get those in the store on the soitiswritten.net website, or the ebooks are available on Amazon Kindle.
Oh, we could get ebooks
You can.
also.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. Now, I'm going to get back to the publishing, because you published these.
Yes.
Girl, go on.
Yes.
And they look good, and they
And my face isn't on the cover.
I know. I know. Well, let's see. I have 4 books. 2 of them, my face is kind of on the cover.
Right. But you're well known. That's
Yeah,
different.
well, no, but
Yeah.
the face is kind of on the cover. But on the first book, my face was kind of on the cover. But it was a little picture I had on a hat.
Got
I didn't
it.
want people to see my whole face. But the other thing, when people, once you write a book, marketing that book is another
It's so
thing.
key. It's so key. And I think a lot of self-published authors miss that. So it's like, okay, I've written a book. Now what? After you sell to your family and friends and you have a great book launch at the Charles H. Wright, because that's what a lot of people use
They
now.
do.
They do. And so you have this grand party, and then what? The books that you have left over, how do you sell them? If you're not already speaking, or you don't have a congregation,
there we
or
go.
you're not.
There we go. Right. That's
Yeah.
very, very important.
Yes.
Because I wrote the poetry. I said, people like the poetry. I'm going to write.
Yes.
Then my sorority gave me a book event.
Okay.
I didn't know what the heck was going on. Then, all of a sudden, I got to speak at Notre Dame.
Yes.
I mean, my first out-of-town
Yes.
gig was Notre Dame.
That's huge.
And then, but I was going around in the city at every place I could to perform.
Right.
You know, hey, Mr. Cutie Pie, say, Mr. Catch My Eye.
Absolutely.
You know, doing
Yes.
my thing. I was doing it all
Yes.
different kind of venues.
Yes.
And somebody saw me from Chrysler. I did a Black
Wow.
History Month. You know how they have
Presentation.
poets come
Poets.
in, and it was in Edmond Place. It was Edmond
Wow.
Place had the different rooms.
Yes.
And I was the only poet who went around. I didn't need
To
my
each
book.
room.
I went around each room just doing
Wow.
the poetry and stuff loud and clear and
Wow.
kind of animated
Yeah.
as I
Of
am.
course. Well, with poetry, you have to
from
be,
that, I got to tour.
See?
I would open up their Spirit of the Word program all over the country.
Over the nation.
And that's how I got to meet Denzel's wife.
Wow.
And my book is in their house.
Awesome.
And, in fact, a couple of books are in their house.
Yeah.
And she wanted me to write him a note, which I did, but I didn't say what I really wanted to say.
Right. It's Denzel. Yeah.
And then I did, from things like that, then I did the Total You tour.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
but you got to get out.
You
That's
have to
the
get out.
point.
The
You got
doors
to-
will open if you get
you
out.
get out.
And you have to network. And it's not all social media marketing. That's only a small piece of it.
Right.
People still like to meet the author. People still like to talk to the author.
And if it's nonfiction, have a story.
Yes. Yes.
Have a real
And have a
story.
cause, because what cause can you tie your book to? I always tell people, if your book is centered around domestic violence, you can say, I'm giving a portion of the proceeds to a domestic violence shelter. People are more apt then to support.
Absolutely. Also, we have fiction.
Yes.
How do you market that?
So with fiction, again, you have to find your tribe. You have to find your readers, because even fiction can be true stories. So I'm working on my first fiction book, but a big part of it is my story that I need to change the names to not expose the guilty and the innocent.
I said, when I write the book, I'm going to have one of those false noses, mustache,
Right.
and glasses.
Right.
When I go to interview in an afro wig.
Right.
I don't want anybody to know who I am.
Right. So when people use a pen name, I have a friend who uses a pen name, and I'm like, well, what do you do when you sign? Because people know it's you, because she's the one sitting at the table, but she has a cool pen name, but it's like, people know it's you.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
they do.
But with fiction, you still have to have a marketing strategy. So if you're a romance writer, where do you find romance readers? Where do they hang out? There's a romance authors book fair conference across the nation. These are things you can just Google.
Oh, there's so many
Yeah.
book fairs.
Yeah. So if you're writing sci-fi, there are conventions just for sci-fi writers.
Well, let's talk about this real quick. You give an event.
I do. The Red Ink Conference. Yes.
Red Ink
Yes, the Red Ink
Conference.
Conference. We go to two cities a year now.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
so it started in Detroit.
I know.
Started in Detroit 5 years ago, and last year we did Detroit and Atlanta. This year we did Charlotte already, June 1st. We're doing Chicago Saturday, August 17th.
Oh, that's wonderful. What about here?
We did it here for 3 years.
But there are people who still have books in
Absolutely. I'm not saying I won't bring it back. I'm just not telling you when.
Okay.
Chicago's up the street and around the corner.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Okay. Anything you say, I'll take the train.
Right.
I'll take the
Take
train.
the train over, yeah.
Over. Now, if people want to contact you, what do they do?
Absolutely. So they can go to the website, soitiswritten.net, or email info@soitiswritten.net.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, I want to wish you good luck.
Thank you so
Peru.
much.
What will you be doing?
So general missionary will be going to the schools. We'll be delivering messages to the children. We do drama, we do skits, we do dances, and then we give a short message, and then we keep moving to the next site. So we'll cover about 3 to 4 sites a day.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
you'll be there for,
12 days.
wow.
Yeah. We don't come back until July 2nd.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You leave tomorrow.
Leave tomorrow at 3 a.m.
Oh, that is, are you going with your church?
I am, but I'm actually going with a global organization called Missions.me. But the founder is my pastor's son of Missions.me, but it's a global organization.
That is great. Well, you saw her here. If you want to, now, can they email you?
Absolutely, yeah. info@soitiswritten.net.
info@soitiswritten.net. Now, I'm going to write you, but I'm not going to say my name. I'm going to write you. No, I have a book that's already.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
been
not
written.
poetry.
No, it's not. It's called She Who Limps is Still Walking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that right
Yeah.
now.
What, it's a true story and it's inspirational. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I talked about it on the tour when I was
Absolutely.
on one of those tours, and people were so interested
Yeah.
that I just told a little part of the story. So,
Yeah. See?
all righty. Well,
So good to see you as
good
always.
to see you,
Yes.
and good luck, and always keep me informed of what you're
Yes,
doing.
ma'am.
We'll be back in just a moment with Table Talk, so stay tuned.